Fight Club to see him bleed.
He actually enjoys beating up people.
And earned a reputation for more than just boxing.
I saw press conferences where we couldn't get out because all these women were around throwing panties at him.
But a family tragedy almost derailed his dreams.
He was very attached to his mother. Very attached. When my mother passed away, I decided it's over. No more boxing.
His mother's memory inspired him to Olympic gold.
It was the saddest and the happiest moment of my life.
And professional triumph.
Coming from East Los Angeles and going on the world stage and becoming a champion. East LA had never seen anything like that. A star was born.
But stardom would come at a high price.
Being young and having money, I was just way out of control.
At the pinnacle of his career, he faced his darkest hour.
Oscar was disgusted with boxing, disgusted with himself.
But the Golden Boy fought back to take control of his life and become a man.
This is my destiny.
This is Oscar de la Hoya. Beyond the glory.
Absolutely outstanding. Unbelievable.
Do you have anything to say to your fans?
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros,
September 18, 1999, Las Vegas. Undefeated Oscar de la Hoya prepared to step into the ring against undefeated Felix Trinidad. Only one fighter would walk out with a perfect record. The fight with Trinidad culminated a grueling climb to the top of the boxing world. A climb orchestrated by Oscar's tyrannical father, Joel.
My father wanted me to become a fighter so he can live his dream through me. He was very strict with Oscar. There is no time for hugs, kisses, or I love yous.
Joel's strict regimen transformed Oscar from East Los Angeles boxing legend to world champion. When he stepped into the ring against Trinidad, victory was the only acceptable outcome.
Once the bell rings, it changes from 1 second to the next.
Oscar took an early lead, outboxing and bloodying the aggressive Trinidad, but he couldn't knock him out.
What I did was box, the sweet science of boxing. I outboxed Trinidad.
In the 9th round, Oscar's corner gave him a fatal piece of advice.
They felt that Oscar was comfortably ahead and that for the next 2 rounds he could just coast.
Box the next 2 rounds. Oscar's under pressure.
For the last 3 rounds, Oscar danced around Trinidad to protect his lead.
In professional boxing, the judges hate to see a guy running. The last 3-4 rounds in that fight, Oscar just ran.
When the final bell rang, the judges felt that Oscar hadn't fought hard enough. Trinidad was awarded a majority decision.
When I lost against Felix Trinidad, I felt destroyed. I didn't know what to do because I never prepared for it. I never thought that I would lose.
After the fight, Oscar was inconsolable. At his moment of deepest despair, Oscar found comfort from a source that had been distant his entire life. His own father.
When Oscar lost the decision to Trinidad, I've heard Joel say to Oscar, "I love you, son. How proud I am of you."
My father had told me, "Don't worry about it, you beat him." So then, the whole night after that, I was happy. I was like, I won.
Oscar de la Hoya was born on February 4th, 1973. The second of 3 children to Joel and Cecilia, a factory worker and an ex-singer who lived in East Los Angeles.
It was a tough, dangerous neighborhood. You had your drug houses and your gang members.
We were pretty much surrounded by gangs. We kind of stuck to ourselves.
The De La Hoyas didn't have much. Joel found occasional work, while Cecilia took care of the kids.
They're poor. At one point, they were on welfare, and his mother would receive food stamps, help from the government. As far as, material things, yeah, we never had the nicest shoes. We didn't have the nicest clothing.
My father was the type of person who worked hard, would always make sure there's food on the table. If there wasn't one day or two, well, big deal.
Joel dreamed of escaping the poverty and violence by teaching his sons his first love, boxing.
The sport of boxing kind of runs in the family.
My father was an ex-fighter. His father was a fighter. Boxing was part of my life. It was in my blood.
Joel instituted a tough training schedule at LA's East Side Gym, leaving Oscar little time to enjoy his childhood.
He would take me to the gym every day. I would never miss a day. If I ever did kind of say, well, I feel kind of tired today, he would get really angry, and he would, force me to the gym.
His father, he was very strict. Oscar never felt that his father cared or loved him. He really didn't stray far from the house. He had him on a short leash.
I had no childhood. I sometimes feel like I missed out on all the activities that all the normal kids used to do.
While Joel continued to push his son, Oscar found comfort in his mother.
My mother was a very caring person, a very lovable person.
She was there 100% to support him.
She would go and watch me train. She would always be at my fights, cheering me on. I got scared myself because I was like, my gosh, my own mother telling me to, beat this kid up. It's pretty scary.
At the age of 7, Oscar had his first official fight at the Pico Rivera Sports Arena.
I liked hitting them, but I just didn't like them hitting me. I hate being punched in the face, but if you did punch me in the face, I used to get so angry.
Under the watchful eye of his father, Oscar continued on a relentless training schedule.
I remember waking up around 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning to start running around the neighborhood. Then I would go to school and get back home, do some schoolwork for about half an hour, and then that's when my father would come home and take me to the gym for my boxing classes.
There's times where we would go to Oscar's house to have a pickup basketball game, and his father wouldn't let him, and Oscar would cry.
In 1988, at the age of 15, Oscar won a Junior Olympic Championship. The following year, he took home the National Golden Gloves title. Joel's intense training program and Oscar's dedication to it was beginning to pay off.
At that point there, that was my goal, to win a little championship title or a national title even.
When I saw him win, I was like, wow, that's my brother.
Oscar was ready to take his place among amateur boxing's elite, but while his success soared, his mother began the fight of her life.